this is the essence of a healthy business, right? You get out of it what you put into it. If you follow it slavishly without thought, chances are it won't work. If you start tinkering with it until you get the right combination for you in your area, for what you want to be doing, eventually you'll hit the magic formula, either because you decide to specialize in something different, or because you decide to offer the message differently, or something in what you're doing starts working better than other things. You do more of that, and you just keep building up. Just because one idea you have starts working really well, doesn't mean that there aren't other ideas that can work just as well or even better. So get one, automate it until you go, right, I know how this one works, and we're churning through this one. Then let that one run on its own, or give someone to like maintain for you, is you put your attention on something else. And you get that one automated, and that way you get more and more and more ways of getting people to come in and be interested in you, and that gives you more chance to convert them, etc., etc. See how that works? All in all, just think of the simple sales funnel and the 4 steps of what you're trying to do. Get someone to be interested in you, convert them so they'll actually come and see you, then offer them something else which is valuable so that they have something else they can buy which will help them in their life, and get their friends involved somehow. Ask for it, offer them bribes, you know, like here's a bottle of wine, thanks for sending me someone. Why not, right? People appreciate being appreciated. Offer them discounts for their friends, because people appreciate being able to do good things for their friends. And at that point, you have a healthy hypnotherapy business on your hands. Any questions? Go ahead.
I think the main thing from my perspective that you didn't add in there is I always establish a specific timeline.
It's certainly
I sit down and logistically figure this out, and I also design the takeaway for me. Mm-hmm. If I don't accomplish this goal in this preset time, I don't get to go to Alaska this year.
Okay.
Or I don't get to do this, because you can always start out with a business model, but until you identify where your starting point is and where your exit point is, it is not going to be successful as it could be, because now you're just out there drifting around with no perception of time, and time is money, but you can get more money, but you never can recover the time.
I think overall, I would agree with that as one approach. Woo-wee. Someone's getting a red face. So overall, I think that's one great approach, and I also recognize that other people have different working styles. The key thing I think to take from your message is get focused on what you're doing, right? Get focused in, like, your way of managing time might be, today I'm going to, by the end of this week and have this many adverts. By the end of next week, I'm gonna try these things out. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to spend an hour a day, and this hour I'm going to do this much here, this much there. So do focus yourself on what you're doing, whether that means doing timelines in with potential self-punishments or rewards. Do whatever works for you. You know yourself better than I do, but focus is the key. Just drifting, you're absolutely right, is a dangerous thing. You don't tinker, specialize. Say today or this week, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. Go ahead.
Would you use the feel, felt, found technique, like when they first call you, as far as, for example, you have a specific niche, and you can relate to them, and you've overcome a phobia or something. Would you say that, oh yeah, I can relate to that, I've done, or does that sound too salesy?
Hey, if it's true, then just go with what your gut tells you. I'm serious. I mean, if someone calls up and says, yeah, I've had this really tough problem with the program, you know what? I know exactly where you're coming from. I had this. Here's how I overcame it. And that's actually the foundation of the process I use. If it's true. And if it isn't, don't. And also, if it feels forced when you're trying to tell them it, then don't do it. Then go with something else. So I think it's definitely an approach worth bearing in mind. And don't get married to it. It's not the only way to do it.
Okay. And then also, as far as, we went straight into touching each other. Do you ask permission?
Yes. We'll get into that much more when we actually do hypnotherapy. We haven't actually done any therapy yet, guys. You know that, right? What we've done is we've played around with some of the more groovy parts of hypnosis that normally people don't get a chance to play with. We've actually done nothing to do with therapy or anything like that yet. All that stuff we start covering when we get to the conversation hypnosis, professional hypnotherapy certification program tomorrow.